Hello, this is Lyle Paps. I'm just making a video to respond to the entire Kony 2012 thing because, for one, I strongly feel that the video doesn't cover all bases at all. It has a very, very, very narrow explanation of actually what's happening with that situation, and I feel like it excluded a large portion of real vital information as to not open up a can of worms that they couldn't explain. So, I've got some list points here that I'm going to go over, and then I'm going to, I don't know, talk about some of my own emotional sentiments towards the video. But the facts that I've brought here are completely unbiased. They haven't been marked by my own personal attitudes. It's just consensus information that I've gathered from different news articles that I've gathered from two Ugandan journalism sources. I'll probably actually get I'll take her video and I'll put it in a link description. Well, one of them, because she was pretty good. Anyways, I'm gonna start with my first point. Something that a lot of people don't know. Kony actually isn't in Uganda right now. Kony hasn't been active in Uganda since 2006. Right now, the LRA has, which is the Lord's Resistance Army, led by Kony, Joseph Kony. They're in South Sudan or Congo right now, actually. And any of your money that you're sending to Uganda, as described by the video through donations to Try, is not going to the effort to finding Kony in South Sudan and Congo, where he most likely is right now. People are more worried about the Al-Qaeda threat in Africa, and yes, it was surprising to me too. I did not know that there was an Al-Qaeda branch in Africa. So yeah, your funding isn't going to the effort at all. I mean, after it gets divided up from the corporate core of this entire thing, you're going to have about 30% of the money that you've donated going to a useless cause, and I would not think for a second that the Ugandan military is going to give that money back afterwards, because when it comes to third world military outfits, the money gets spent fast. There are things that these people want. There are things that these people need. And after all this money flow starts coming in, it's going to be very, very hard to replace that. And tell me if I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, most donation policies have a hands-off sort of policy as soon as they've handed the money over. After the money's handed over, it's just pretty much a donation policy that this is no longer our money, you may do with it as you will, and if it's misplacement, it's negligence on the organization's part. So, I also brought up another fact that I found to be quite interesting. The NRA, like the army that we're donating to right now, with 100 troops over there and stuff, they actually have, it was a statistic in 1986 that 3,000 children under the age of 16 were included in their military outfit, along with 500 girls. In Africa as a whole, from what I understand, from what I've been reading, it's not too unusual to have a small boys unit in the military. So anyways, yes, the Ugandan army has the same rap for army rapes, pillaging, and child soldiers, but I guess that's justified by the fact that they're only going after the top criminal. I found that to be a little bit interesting. They greatly narrow the view by talking about this one criminal, because the other criminals, the other resources that they're relying on, become irrelevant, even though you're essentially paying one turd in the punch bowl to lay a hit on this turd in the punch bowl. And I don't think that people realize that that's going to have a really unfortunate power balance effect. Powers are going to have to rebalance. After you've taken away this kony man's territory, there's going to be a huge run to gather up those children as a resources, these trained children. There's going to be a huge run to collect what from the mineral mines that he's been mining. One of the main ways that he keeps his military outfit running is by mining rare earth minerals that are used in some of your newer cell phones and things like that. Yeah, most of the video footage from the I Can't Stop video is actually from 2006. Right now, Uganda is mostly in a recovery effort. Another thing that one of the journalists was talking about that I think is a wonderful point. I don't think that we are giving I almost said we Americans. My God, where's my head? I don't think that we realize that Uganda has a sovereign government. They're moderately capable. They have politics. They talk. They have Congress. And that is vital structure for getting these problems solved. But the problem is they don't have the most resources and the best resources to be working with. But I think it goes to say that they don't exactly need this kind of world policing that we're offering them. We're offering them help, but the help comes at a cost. If you wanted to do a little bit of digging about some of the destruction in Iran, if you want to go way back on my wall, I have some video posts about what some of the American soldiers actually did there. Needless to say, in my mind, after we have dealt with kony being realized as not there, we're going to be using this entire public activism perspective to really work on people in the respect that, hey, there are more problems in Africa. We need more forces over here. We need more to deal with this problem. And that's the thing that gets me the most. Watching that video, I was less inspired by it and more began to question exactly why were they leaving these bits of information out. Why were they leaving out the fact that this is an old cause and they're focusing themselves improperly? It shows to me that there are a lot of different interests running on this campaign, and that's unsettling for me, because they're taking a very vital, very important topic, and they're exploiting it. And there's a very large difference between presentation and their intentions here. They're telling you one thing, but at the same time you've got this entire wealth of knowledge behind them that they're sort of just sitting on. And they exclude those little bits of knowledge, just like someone would lie to sort of keep people from having a bad opinion of them, you know? Even though they have a negative action, even though they've caused a negative action, they want the best outcome for themselves. And the best outcome is to make an assertion and to make it seem a little bit different from what it actually is. I'm gone about 9 minutes, my God. Yeah, okay, so as a continent, Africa has many viable resources, but no technology to allow them into the capitalist consumption stream, essentially. So we've got a lot of oil we're sitting on, we've got a lot of minerals that can't be mass excavated. They get excavated in small numbers. Some of the bonuses of the American-Canadian intervention in Uganda would be the fact that we would have a large viable supply of cell phone materials, high technology materials in their raw state, which is good for capitalism, but it's wrong for morality, in my opinion, because we've seen this before. We've seen them take over the oil fields. We've seen them do a number of resource grabs wherever they go. So, and I don't think that people clearly understand what they're asking for here. They're asking for like the governments to take over. In that is a bad idea, because, sorry, let me clarify my thoughts a little bit. I think it's a bad idea because essentially you're sending an elephant in to do a tiger's job. To take out these military leaders, and might I reassert myself in saying that we're going to the wrong place, and they're telling you the wrong place. Kind of stoned, so I'm sorry. I totally dropped that idea there. Right. Yeah, their oil largely gets largely unexcavated. 2 billion barrels a day of product have been projected. That's it. That's all I really have to say about it. I think that the entire video concept is largely manipulative, and I would urge anyone to greatly reconsider their involvement in it until they realize all sides of the argument, all sides of the puzzle, because there are a lot of things that are intentionally being left out here that people need to look into. So that's all I have to say. Take my opinion to heart, don't take my opinion to heart, as long as you don't block it out. Because if you have reason to doubt what I'm saying, then please carry on with your reasoning. But if you're blocking me out, and you're blocking this information out from an egoic perspective where you don't want your reality and your opinion to be shattered because there's something that conflicts with it directly, then I would really hope that you would reconsider your opinion and take some time and take some effort to reevaluate what's going on here and your involvement in that. Because with this kony movement, there's a lot of crap that comes with it, and there is a lot of socio-political garbage that is going to come with bringing this political power into Africa. And there's a lot of garbage that comes along with how things are going to unfold, how they will begin to talk about some of the larger problems in Africa that have not been exposed to the media yet. So there's a lot of garbage that's going to come from this. That's all I have to say. Bye.